You ever feel like you're stuck at zero? Like the world's spinning fast and you're just standing still? Maybe you've failed so many times, you've started to believe that failure is your story, that you were born without the tools, without the gifts, without the luck. But let me tell you something, zero is not the end. Zero is the beginning. You see, people love to count you out. They love to write your story before the ink's even dry. They say, you'll never make it, you don't have what it takes. But what they don't realize is that pressure builds diamonds and silence builds focus. When you're at the bottom, you've got nothing to lose and everything to prove. This song right here, it's not just music. It's not just rhythm or rhymes or a beat that slaps. It's a reminder. A reminder that your story isn't over just because you started late or broke or broken. It's fuel. Fire, proof that pain can become power, that you can take your past, your losses, your lowest points, and turn them into your greatest strengths. Think about the chorus. It doesn't whisper, it roars. It tells you that your doubts don't define you. Your failures don't finish you, you define you, you finish you, and the journey, that's where the magic happens. Not at the destination, but in every early morning when no one's watching, every sacrifice when it would have been easier to quit, every damn time you keep showing up when your legs are shaking and your heart's breaking. You don't need a cheerleader, you don't need applause, you need a reason, one reason that sets your soul on fire. One reason that's bigger than the fear, louder than the doubt, stronger than the pain, and when that beat drops, let it remind you who you are. Let it remind you that you're not here to survive, you're here to rise. So yeah, maybe you're at zero. Maybe you're alone. Maybe the world's telling you to stay down, but this song, it's your anthem. It's your call to arms. It's the sound of someone who's done being overlooked, someone who's done making excuses, someone who knows what it feels like to be the underdog and is ready to become the champion. Let every note hit you like truth. Let every word echo in your bones. Let it break something inside you, something weak, and let it build something stronger in its place, because you're not done, not even close. You're just getting started. This isn't background music, it's battle music. It's the sound of zero turning into one, and one into unstoppable. Starting from zero often feels like being invisible, like having nothing to your name, no experience, no recognition, no advantage. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the weight of where you are and how far you have to go. But zero is not the dead end many perceive it to be. Instead, zero is a clean slate. It's the foundation upon which everything great is built. When you begin at zero, you're free from expectations, free from the pressure to maintain a status or reputation. You're standing at the very beginning, and that's a powerful place to be. Think about it. When you start at zero, you have the unique opportunity to shape your own path. You're not limited by past failures or successes, because you have none yet. This emptiness, this blank canvas, gives you the freedom to create something original, something that's truly yours. Zero means you have room to learn, grow, and evolve without being boxed in by old labels or judgments. Starting from zero also means you get to build resilience. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. When you have nothing, every gain is meaningful. You learn to appreciate progress in ways that those who started with advantages might never understand. This teaches grit, patience, and persistence, qualities that champions possess. The struggles at zero forge a mindset that refuses to give up, because giving up would mean losing the rare chance to climb from nothing to something. Moreover, zero provides clarity. Without distractions or the burden of a complicated history, you can focus purely on your goals. You're not weighed down by past mistakes or by others' expectations. You have a blank page and a fresh set of eyes. This clarity helps you see what truly matters, helping you set clear, authentic goals and make decisions aligned with your values and dreams. Many successful people started from zero, or worse, facing obstacles, rejections, and failures that could have stopped them. But their secret wasn't talent or luck alone. It was their ability to embrace zero as a starting point, rather than a dead end. They understood that zero is simply the starting line for everyone. What matters is the mindset you bring when you stand there. Finally, zero teaches humility and hunger. When you have nothing, you understand the value of every opportunity. You become hungry for growth, knowledge, and improvement because you see first, and how much you can gain. This hunger drives action and keeps complacency at bay. It makes you willing to put in the work, to face rejection, and to push through discomfort because you know that every step forward is progress. Zero is often seen as a place of weakness, but it is actually a place of incredible power. It's the moment before the rise, the moment full of potential waiting to be unlocked. When you embrace zero, you embrace the chance to build your future exactly as you want it. Starting from zero is not a curse, it's an invitation to greatness. Failure and doubt are often seen as enemies, something to avoid at all costs. But in reality, they are some of the greatest teachers you will ever encounter on the journey to success. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a critical part of the process. Each failure is a lesson wrapped in disguise, an opportunity to learn what doesn't work, and a push to find a better way. When you experience doubt, it means you're stepping outside your comfort zone, challenging yourself and facing the unknown. That discomfort, as unsettling as it feels, is exactly where growth happens. When failure hits, it stings. It shakes your confidence and makes you question your abilities. But if you allow yourself to sit with that discomfort, to reflect on the experience rather than run from it, you build resilience. Every failure forces you to get back up, dust yourself off, and try again with more wisdom. This process strengthens your mindset, teaching you to embrace setbacks as part of the journey rather than the end of it. Doubt works in a similar way. It's a signal that you're pushing boundaries. When doubt creeps in, it challenges you to examine your beliefs, your goals, and your commitment. Instead of seeing doubt as a sign to stop, you can use it as fuel to dig deeper. Doubt encourages you to prepare more thoroughly, think more critically, and work harder. It sharpens your focus and determination, making the eventual success that much sweeter. In fact, many of the most successful people you know or have heard about didn't get there by avoiding failure or doubt. They got there because they faced them head on. They learned to see failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as a stepping stone. They accepted doubt as a natural part of growth, not as a reason to give up. This mindset transforms challenges from obstacles into opportunities. It's important to remember that failure and doubt don't define you. What defines you is how you respond to them. Do you let failure stop you, or do you let it teach you? Do you let doubt freeze you in place, or do you let it push you to work harder? The choice is yours. When you learn to welcome these experiences, you open yourself up to a level of growth and self-awareness that many never achieve. Embracing failure and doubt also helps you build humility. You realize that success isn't a straight line and that everyone struggles in some way. This awareness connects you to others and fosters empathy and patience for yourself and those around you. It shifts your focus from immediate results to long-term progress, helping you stay committed even when the path is tough. Ultimately, failure and doubt are not barriers. They are bridges. They connect where you are now with where you want to be. The strength and clarity you gain from facing them give you the power to keep moving forward, to refine your approach, and to become the best version of yourself. When you stop fearing failure and doubt, you unlock the door to true growth and achievement. True power isn't handed to you on a silver platter. It's something you build from within, forged through persistence and unwavering self-belief. Many people look for shortcuts or external validation, hoping others will see their worth and open doors for them. But the reality is that lasting strength comes from knowing your own value, even when no one else does. It comes from believing in your vision, your goals, and yourself when everything around you is telling you otherwise. Persistence is the backbone of true power. It's the ability to keep moving forward despite setbacks, obstacles, and doubts. It's showing up day after day, putting in the work even when motivation fades or progress seems slow. Persistence means refusing to quit when things get tough, because you understand that success isn't about luck, it's about dedication. It's the steady drumbeat that keeps you pushing forward, even when the path is unclear or the results aren't immediate. Self-belief fuels that persistence. Without belief in yourself, it's easy to give in to discouragement or the voices of critics. But when you hold a strong conviction in your abilities and your purpose, those negative voices lose their power. Self-belief isn't arrogance or blind optimism, it's a grounded confidence built on knowing your strengths, acknowledging your weaknesses, and committing to growth. It's trusting that you can learn, adapt, and overcome no matter what comes your way. This internal power shifts your perspective. Instead of relying on external approval or waiting for the perfect moment, you create your own momentum. You become your own source of encouragement. When you believe in yourself, setbacks become temporary roadblocks rather than insurmountable walls. You start to see failures as lessons and challenges as opportunities to prove your resilience. The combination of persistence and self-belief creates a mindset that is unshakable. It helps you focus on your goals with clarity and determination, ignoring distractions or negativity. You develop patience, understanding that real progress takes time and effort. You also cultivate discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it, because your belief in the end goal is stronger than fleeting emotions. True power also comes from ownership. When you believe in yourself and persist, you take full responsibility for your journey. You stop blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck. Instead, you focus on what you can control, your attitude, your effort, your choices. This sense of ownership is empowering. It means you don't wait for permission to pursue your dreams. You take initiative and make things happen. Furthermore, this inner power inspires others. When you demonstrate unwavering belief and persistence, you naturally attract support, opportunities, and respect. People gravitate toward those who show strength in adversity and confidence in their mission. Your energy becomes contagious, motivating those around you and opening doors that were once closed. Ultimately, true power is a quiet but fierce force that grows inside you the more you commit to your path. It doesn't depend on external validation or fleeting success. It's built on the foundation of persistence, fueled by self-belief, and strengthened by ownership of your journey. When you tap into this power, you become unstoppable not because the world bends to your will, but because your will is unbreakable. Motivation that comes from within is the most powerful kind because it's rooted in your own values, dreams, and desires, not in what others expect from you or what the world thinks you should do. External validation, praise, recognition, approval can feel good in the moment, but it's often fleeting and unreliable. Relying on others to keep you motivated puts your progress at the mercy of opinions that can change at any time. When motivation depends on outside forces, it's easy to get discouraged, lose focus, or give up altogether once the applause fades or the support disappears. True motivation comes from knowing why you're doing what you're doing. It's a deep, personal reason that drives you, even when no one is watching, and no rewards are immediately visible. This kind of motivation fuels consistent action because it's aligned with who you are and what you truly want. When your motivation comes from within, challenges don't feel like roadblocks. They feel like tests of your commitment. You don't need external pressure or constant reminders. because your purpose lights the way forward. Having internal motivation means you're more resilient. When setbacks occur, as they inevitably do, you're less likely to be derailed because your why is stronger than temporary difficulties. You learn to push through pain, frustration, and uncertainty because your goal is meaningful enough to endure discomfort. This inner drive creates discipline and grit, allowing you to keep showing up and putting in the work day after day. External validation can also create dependency. If your confidence and effort hinge on others' approval, you risk losing your sense of self whenever criticism or rejection comes your way. But when your motivation is internal, you develop a stable foundation of self-worth that isn't shaken by external opinions. You start trusting your own judgment, valuing your progress regardless of how others respond. This self-trust is essential for long-term success and happiness. Moreover, internal motivation helps you stay authentic. When you chase goals because they resonate with your own passions and values, you're more likely to find fulfillment and joy in the process, not just in the end result. Authentic motivation aligns with your true self, preventing burnout and dissatisfaction that often come from pursuing goals based on external expectations or social pressure. This doesn't mean that external feedback or encouragement isn't valuable. They can boost morale and provide helpful guidance. But relying solely on them is risky. The key is to cultivate an internal source of motivation that remains steady even when outside factors fluctuate. That way, you maintain control over your progress and your mindset, regardless of the external environment. To build this internal motivation, start by reflecting on what matters most to you. Identify your values, your passions, and your long-term vision. Ask yourself why you want to achieve your goals and what achieving them will mean for your life. The clearer and more personal your reasons are, the stronger your internal motivation will be. This inner clarity becomes your compass, guiding you through challenges and keeping you focused when distractions arise. In the end, motivation that springs from within gives you power. It frees you from dependence on others' approval and lets you create your own path. It makes your journey meaningful, resilient, and sustainable. When you tap into this internal well of motivation, you become unstoppable, driven by a force that no one else can take away. The journey and struggle shape the hero far more than the destination ever will. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is a finish line, something you cross once and then you're done. But the truth is that the path you take, the challenges you face, and the hardships you overcome are what truly define you. They build character, develop skills, and forge the mindset needed to handle not only success, but also the inevitable obstacles that follow. Without the journey, the destination is empty. Without struggle, triumph feels hollow. Every hero's story is filled with moments of doubt, pain, and setbacks. These moments are not signs of weakness or failure. They are the crucibles that transform ordinary people into extraordinary ones. When you face difficulty, you're forced to dig deep, to find reserves of strength and creativity you didn't know you had. The struggle demands resilience, teaches patience, and cultivates humility. It forces you to confront your limits and push beyond them, expanding your capacity for growth. The journey also teaches invaluable lessons that can't be learned any other way. It's in the daily grind, the small victories and losses, that you develop discipline and perseverance. You learn to navigate uncertainty, manage fear, and handle disappointment. These experiences shape your mindset, making you adaptable and resourceful. They help you build a strong foundation, so when you finally reach your goals, you're ready to sustain and build upon them. Moreover, the journey shapes your identity. It's where you discover who you really are, your values, your passions, and what you're willing to fight for. Without struggle, it's easy to lose sight of these things or take them for granted. But when you work hard and face adversity, you clarify your purpose. The journey molds your character, transforming not just what you achieve, but who you become in the process. Struggle also fosters gratitude and appreciation. When you faced tough times and fought hard to get where you are, you value success more deeply. You understand that it's not a given, not handed to you by chance. This perspective makes success sweeter and more meaningful, and it encourages humility and generosity. You're more likely to support others and stay grounded because you know what it took to get there. It's important to remember that the destination is not the end of the story. It's just one chapter. Life is a continuous journey filled with ups and downs, growth and setbacks. By embracing the journey and struggle, you prepare yourself for lifelong success and fulfillment, not just a momentary win. The process builds a mindset that is ready for whatever comes next, making you stronger and wiser every step of the way. When you shift your focus from simply reaching the destination to valuing the journey, your entire perspective changes. You become more patient, more resilient, and more motivated. Challenges become opportunities rather than obstacles. You celebrate progress rather than perfection. This mindset turns setbacks into setups for growth and fuels a relentless drive to keep moving forward. Ultimately, the hero is defined not by the trophy or the title, but by the journey endured and the battles fought. The struggle shapes your story, enriches your experience, and builds the strength that lasts long after the finish line. It is through the journey, with all its trials and triumphs, that you truly become a hero. Every great transformation begins with a single step from zero, a place that holds limitless potential. The journey from nothing to something is paved with failure, doubt, persistence, and an unshakable belief in yourself. True power arises not from external validation, but from the fire burning within, a motivation that refuses to be extinguished by setbacks or silence. It's the struggles, the challenges, and the relentless pursuit that shape who you are and prepare you for greatness. So embrace your starting point, trust your inner strength, and keep moving forward with unwavering determination. Because when you do, the hero within you will rise and nothing will be able to stop you.